As big of a proponent I am of virtual reality gaming, in my experience, VR horror blurs the line a little too much, and often transcends any kind of entertainment value and simply becomes too scary to enjoy. There's no popping the hallway light on to distract from the tension of the screen when the screen is suspended a mere centimetres away from my face. Thankfully, that's not the case with Otherworld Interactive's Hello Puppets, a dark comedy horror title that thankfully anaesthetizes its tension and jump scares by providing a charming and endearing anthropomorphic puppet companion that makes navigating the dark corridors of an abandoned TV studio a much more enjoyable experience. One that saw me cowering, laughing, and bonding with a new friend.
What brings
God.
you to this strange
Oh my God.
little scene?
The just under 2 hour long narrative of Hello Puppets takes place inside the abandoned production studios of the children's show Mortimer's Handymen, a puppet starring Sesame Street knockoff that was cancelled after a studio fire killed several of its staff and the show's creator under suspicious circumstances. Players take on the role of an investigative journalist who quickly discovers that the former studio has been transformed into a human-possessing puppet factory by the show's former felt stars and must evade the various Frankenstein puppet monsters that lurk the studio's winding corridors if they're going to escape with their life. Dark corridors, stalking enemies, creepy environments, and the constant feeling of being watched. These are typically ingredients that lead to me asking a friend over to provide commentary from the sofa and to take the controller for the corridor that's just too dark for me to explore. Hello Puppets actually provides that friend in the form of Scout, a fully conscious puppet attached to your hand who struggles to fit in among her domineering puppet overlords. While Scout's appearance can be chosen from multiple styles, her sarcastic, quick-witted, and oddly charming personality remains the same and is clearly the single defining quality that makes Hello Puppets stand out from other horror titles.
I don't have time to explain everything to you, but basically you're in a decommissioned soundstage filled with murderous sentient puppets from a cancelled children's TV show who were brought to life by an evil voodoo spell, and now they want to drain your life force in order to sustain themselves so they can bring their cancelled show back to life and take over the world. Actually, wow, that was pretty good.
I often found myself struggling to find the courage to rush past a stalking puppet predator, only to be jokingly mocked by Scout for my cowardice.
This room smells weird. Oh wait, host, did you just fart? Well, somebody snuck something into this room. I'm watching you, heavy hands.
Watching Scout's transformation from a black sheep evildoer into a rebel fighting to bring her masters down is a rewarding and engaging story, and one that even pulls at the heartstrings a few times. Scout steals the spotlight so shamelessly that it's perhaps an intentional move to distract from the rather shallow core narrative. Despite its interesting aesthetic and premise, Hello Puppets doesn't really dive into its own concept as much as it probably should, the end result feeling more like an early proof of concept, similar to the original accounting experience that set the tone for the final product of Accounting Plus. The final encounter with Mortimer and Riley, who have been ominously taunting you throughout your adventure, is over before it really begins, and the mysterious plot thread of the show's deceased creator doesn't really go anywhere. While the relationship with Scout almost makes up for this, it doesn't quite fit the £15 price tag, which I feel requires the game to explore its potential with just a bit more depth.
Took your sweet time, host! Damn! Look at me! Did you get me out of there slowly on purpose?
Though a surface level look at the rather simple mechanics might suggest gameplay to be similarly shallow, it's the way in which Otherworld Interactive utilises these mechanics within its puzzles that keep it afloat. I regularly found myself stumped at several points of the story, only to find that I needed to approach the situation from the perspective of Scout, which I could do at just the click of a button. All of the puzzles felt appropriately challenging without feeling unfairly vague, and escaping any stalking enemies was still an absolutely thrilling adrenaline rush without feeling like I was unfairly matched. I was also impressed at how well Hello Puppets maintains its creepiness without overly relying on jump scares. Yes, there are certainly one or two times where I was suddenly spooked out of nowhere, but it never really felt unfair. Instead, Hello Puppets creeped me out by a strong sense of atmosphere and personality, constantly making me feel like I was being watched, as well as terrified of eventually crossing paths with the ever-present antagonist, who felt like genuinely intimidating threats. In this regard, it shares a lot of its tone with the similarly titled Hello Neighbor series, juxtaposing its tense and eerie atmosphere with a bright and friendly aesthetic. Hello Puppets offers a refreshingly fun, engaging, and heartfelt approach to the VR horror genre, and provides one of the most genuinely charming character bonds that I found in gaming. While its current price tag doesn't quite line up with the 2-hour experience, it's absolutely one that earns your attention.